Guys, welcome back. Bitcoin is making here the moves that we were expecting over the last 24 hours. I will show you exactly what's going to happen next as usual if we actually go a little bit lower or if the worst is already over. Don't miss out on that and let's go, guys. So thank you for tuning in here on this Thursday. I just want to mention straight away that potentially, it's not 100% yet. Potentially tomorrow will be no stream. Potentially. I will try to make a stream. I will be not streaming from this place here. I will be I will be traveling, but I'm gonna try while I'm traveling to make a stream. But again, I cannot promise. I cannot promise it, but I'm gonna try. Now let's jump into the content here for today. So it's enough with service announcements for that matter. The DXY is moving here into higher levels. We're really close to the 99 point level again. With the press conferences later today, I expect when Jerome Powell speaks that we potentially move here slightly above that, just wick above 99 points here and then come straight back to the downside. So because I still expect that Jerome Powell will come out and say something dovish for us in terms of the rate cuts, especially with the rate cut that we're expecting for this month. So when we're looking at the Fed calendar, what's happening today, I mentioned it 2 days ago. So first, Jerome Powell will speak in, I think this is in 30 minutes, but then the stream will already be over. I will be not here anymore in 30 minutes, but you can watch it straight after the stream. Then, oh wow, only 5 minutes? Crazy. I think they're going to do this simultaneously. I don't think that Jerome Powell will just speak 5 minutes. I think it will be simultaneously. So then 5 minutes later, you have the Vice Chair for Supervision, Michelle W. Bowman. Then 10 minutes after that, you have, again, Ms. Bowman. Then you have here at 12:45 p.m., Governor Michael S. Barr. Then you have commercial papers. And then you have another speech from Michelle Bowman at 3:45. Then in the afternoon, selective interest rates. And then the last thing will be factors affecting reserve balances. So that is actually also really interesting to see what they're going to say here at 4:30. But of course, Jerome Powell will have the biggest impact on the market once again here in 30 minutes once he is opening his mouth. Now, when we're looking at Bitcoin, we need to understand where Bitcoin will go next if we are losing the current support level. The current support level is coming in here on the daily chart at $121,500. The next level below that would be 119,615. That is the 0.382 on the Fibonacci retracement levels. And below that, you have kind of here in the middle, you have here the golden ratio and the 0.5 level. So why in the middle? Because here is an imbalance, an FVG candle. So, and this imbalance usually gets filled sooner or later. So that means price will be now attracted to come to this level to fill this footprint here. You can call it whatever you want. Footprint, imbalance, fair value gap. It's all the same thing. And then from there turn it around. We don't have to do that, but there is a high probability when you have, especially on a daily chart, a candle like this, that this is a valid target for market makers to the downside. So, but of course, the bullishness in the market can overrule that, and you see that already with the wick that we are putting in here today. So we came here down to $121,000 approximately. Now we're at $123,000 almost again. So this candle potentially will even turn green. So that would be a little bit crazy to see that, to be honest, going all the way down today and then turn around. But I have seen crazier things in this market. So then at the same time, we have here, since April, an established upward sloping trend line that we have not touched in a long time. That can also stay for a while like that. If we would come down here to test that, that would be roughly around $111,000 right now. Not seeing that to be touched anytime soon. But you need to pay attention to the 0.382 and the 0.5 level, the $17,600 mark. So these are two levels that I'm closely watching right now. So why do I watch them? Because here the bearish divergence has still not played out, and we have not put a new high on the price action or on the RSI. So, and as long as we are not doing that, we are risking that we are seeing the bearish divergence playing out, and that would mean a move down here to roughly $117,000, $119,000, something in that range. And at the same time, the RSI would then completely reset, turn around, and then we get a new all-time high. Also here on the Bollinger Bands, nothing crazy to see here right now, which is good. We have here only some consolidation happening, exactly what I mentioned to you guys. Every single time when we run here into the upper band of the Bollinger Band, you get a rejection from there so that the price goes back into the Bollinger Band, and then you get some consolidation. In the worst case, you get a retest here of the middle band, which is roughly around $117,000. Again, you have a major confluence, not only on a daily chart through different indicators, but also on lower time frames. You have major confluence around that specific level here. So also here on the VPVR, the point of control is sitting with the EMA ribbon in alignment at around $117,600. Again, level of confluence why we potentially come down there to test this as support, and then go here back to the upside. And the longer we actually stay here below that dashed line here, the more likely it is that we see a proper rejection to the downside. So because it is, actually it is a double sword, a double-edged sword all the time. So because you have on one side, the more we are testing this resistance here, the weaker it gets, like with a hammer where you, hammer on, what is that? What is that called again? Like a hard foam plate, you know. So at some point you make holes into that foam plate until it breaks. So, but on the other hand, also the stronger that resistance is, and the more often we are testing this, the more likely it is that you get a strong rejection from that level to the downside. So in here, the $124,000 level is right now strong resistance. So we need a daily close above that to invalidate that and get continuation into higher price levels. On the 12-hourly chart here, beautiful retest of the EMA ribbon. So that might be a signal that in the short term we are not going lower. And when I see here a wick like that with so much buy pressure going back to the upside, and we just opened that new 12-hourly candle 9 minutes ago. So if we are not turning around here in this current 12-hourly candle and come back here to the lower end, to the upper end of the EMA ribbon, expect that we are going back up from here. So you can also draw here a downward sloping trend line. So you could also argue that once we are above that line, that we are starting to move up from there. So what you don't want to see is that we are just moving out sideways above that line. So you want to see this current 12-hourly candle go above that. Then here on the sequence that I have explained yesterday, that Bitcoin is running in a certain sequence. You need to spot them because that is driven by bots, venture capital institutions, and market makers. Here, everything working again like clockwork. Sundays we pump to the upside into Tuesday. Tuesday we come down. Then Wednesdays you have usually some chop, and then Thursdays you go back up at a certain time. So wrong. Wednesday after 5 p.m. UTC you go down again, and then Thursday. So what is this here now? Thursday mornings UTC you start going back to the upside. So that's how it works. So again, you can go and analyze that by yourself. It's really easy to do. Just look how price behaves for Bitcoin between Friday and Sunday, and then Sunday to Tuesday, and then Wednesday to Thursday. And then you basically know already what the market is doing more or less, you know, and you can trade accordingly. It's really that simple. So you can close your eyes more or less if you don't use like 50x leverage, and just click the direction where the price will go to. Without that, you need to do anything else. It's really that simple. Now, on the 1 hourly chart, we are moving back here to the upside. We have here strong momentum right now. So here, what you want to see is, again, $123,000 to be reclaimed, and that we close the 1 hourly candle above that, because that will open up the chance that we go to $124,000 and and most likely then put in over the weekend a new all-time high, or by Monday, Tuesday, something like that. Let me see. No, in the chat, I explained what happened to me. You have to go back to the first video that I did like 3 weeks ago or something like that. Go back and watch, then you know what happened. But there will be more about that soon. And right now, I can still not talk about it, but that might change here really, really quickly. Now, I can make out here another W pattern on that 1 hourly chart. So here you have a new W pattern that you can actually trade, guys. So this is a new trade. If you did not catch that here, all the way down here, I mentioned that yesterday, I think. Yesterday? Yes, yeah, yesterday is when I mentioned that and said this was a sniper entry. You know, you should have had limit orders here, because I told you we will come down quickly, and if you don't have a limit order down here, you will miss it. So, but if you miss that trade, you have here this W pattern. This W pattern will get us roughly, if I estimate that, to $128,000, I would guess. So here, let's see. $127,300 from $124,000 roughly. So this is the next pattern that you can trade here to the upside. Just 1 second, I want to check here something. Oh, okay. So this is good. What's happening here? Oh, wow. Okay, so let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, that is bad. Okay, sorry, just had to check here something on another screen. So now let's go back here. So yeah, that is your next trading setup. Then, if we're not breaking now to the upside and complete a W pattern, first of all, what I want to mention first is, for now, we were highly accurate with the prediction that from here we will come down, follow this path to the downside, and go here exactly to $120,700. And from there, we'll start moving back to the upside if we're not breaking the $120,600 level, which we have not done yet. But we are not out of the woods. We're not out of the woods yet. We can still come a little bit lower, because I still don't like how the react indicator is looking here. And also the candles are still in a cool down phase. So what I want to see here is that the candles start to be purple again, not blue. Purple is what we need. From purple into red, then you have a 100% confirmation. At the same time, you want here also the react indicator creating a new wave to the upside. So if that is not happening and we get basically a rejection to the downside, for that reason, I have set up here another trade that you can also set up right now yourself with a limit order at $118,200. So that is from where I want to trade the next move, because I don't try to catch a knife. I don't try to get it to the dollar exactly correct with my entry, because the stop loss is big enough to make sure that I should not get stopped out here on this trade. Because again, 117,000, 170,500 is in the worst case is the level that we go back to the upside from, and I'm fine with 6.74% here with that trade into that supply zone at $126,200 approximately. So again, you have that W pattern over here. So, and if that's not playing out and we go lower, then you have that trade set up over here. These are the two trades that you have. If you want to take these trades, guys, trade on Blowfin, and you get up to $5,000. Non-KYC, really important. If you cannot use a KYC exchange, KYC is on Blowfin not mandatory. And I will send more trades again into the Telegram group that I made in partnership with Blowfin. If you have at least $100 in your Blowfin account, go into the description. There is exactly explained what you need to do, every single step that you need to take to become part of the Telegram group, where we're gonna take $500 to $10,000 again together. You know, so, and don't forget, the last time we were at around $2,000 before I disappeared for 2 months, you know, so we were on a good way to get to the $10,000. So again, there's a link in the description to sign up on Blowfin, guys. Now, the over leveraged liquidity was here on the long side quite a bit swept all the way down here to $121,000 approximately. So we dipped here slightly below the 50 moving average. I mentioned that this can happen, but it would be not the end of the world if that is actually happening. So as you can see, we got a strong bounce back to the upside from there. And now it looks like that more people in that moment when we were slipping below the 50 were taking more shorts, because I see more over-leveraged short levels than before. So, and that's good for us because that gives us the rocket fuel for a short squeeze into higher levels. So, and to the downside, here with the over-leveraged longs, yes, there is still a little bit more liquidity that can be taken out, but as you can see here, $117,400 roughly, that's where it stops more or less. Otherwise, we would go below the 200 moving average on the 4-hourly chart, which I'm not seeing happening here anytime soon. So, and as long as we are staying now above the 50 moving average, expect that we are going rather to the upside than to the downside. Now, here on the weekly chart, on the liquidation heat map, also here, you see that we are eating now here into the $123,000 mark into. So once we are above that level, we should squeeze a little bit to $124,300. And from there, if we get here enough momentum from the liquidity that's sitting here, we could push into a new all-time high to $126,600. So again, if we get rejected from the $123,000 level, expect that the first stop will be all the way down here, $119,300, and then potentially lower, all the way down here to $117,000. But again, right now, things look really, really bullish, but we have a little, how to say that again? It's not a surprise. It's like a joker. Yeah, so we have the Jerome Joker. You know, the Jerome Joker might strike in 15 minutes, you know, so we need to be careful what's going to happen with the Jerome Joker. But on the other hand, if you want to trade altcoins just after this speech, when the market has settled again, trade on Bybit, guys, up to $30,000 in bonuses. I will also start copy trading on Bybit soon again. I did not do that for a really, really long time, but I'm going to do it again. You need a Bybit account if you want to follow my trades there. If you know anything about my Bybit trades, they're highly profitable. I could show you so many screenshots of successful trades that I made in the past. And you get a Bybit card, guys. 10% cash back on your Bybit card if you have one right now. So I did not get for a long time 8%, like 10%. I got like 6, 8%. Now it's 10% for everybody. So you should get a Bybit card. Spend every single day whatever you need to spend with the Bybit card, you get straight away 10% back. So which is amazing, you know. So it's 10% that goes straight back into your pocket. There is a link in the description for that. Now the total free market cap is continuously here consolidating above the $1.14 trillion level, which is absolutely fine. As long as we are consolidating here, we should get a nice pump to the upside in the next coming days. So I still believe that this week at some point we're going to get that move to $1.2 trillion to the upside. Now with Ethereum, here is your last chance, guys. I actually posted this earlier on Twitter and said I warned you so many times about this that Ethereum will most likely come down in the near future into that green box here. And if you don't have limit orders set, you're going to miss it. So the price is basically on the top side of that green box right now. This is your last chance to catch Ethereum at these prices before Ethereum is reversing back to the upside. Because the daily chart, sorry, something is itching on my nose all the time. The RSI is already going sideways. The stochastic looks like ready to turn around soon. And the MACD just looks like that there's sideways movement happening, nothing crazy, or consolidation happening. So, but you had a real big chance here earlier today when I posted on Twitter to get basically a $4,340. So now we are 1% higher, so which is not crazy. So, but yeah, I think Ethereum will turn around here really, really quickly soon. Another reason for that is that we are sitting at the 200 moving average on the 4-hourly chart, while we formed here a couple days ago a golden cross. And we are forming here also right now a falling wedge pattern. I just saw that. So here. So this is your next Ethereum trade. So if you want to trade that falling wedge, that's a trade. So your trade will come here. So and I would go yeah, there to the candle bodies. Oh, so there's your trade. 8.28% profit to the upside. I go a little bit higher than the technical target for that falling wedge, because here, here was the last high for Ethereum, the real last high, and I take the candle bodies, the top of the candle bodies here as target. So because I think when Ethereum starts breaking out of that and breaks here $4,600, it's going to go here to $4,800, $4,820 fairly quickly. Yeah, therefore that's the next trade setup. Your entry is at $4,448. The RSI is already turning around here on the 4-hourly chart, so momentum is also pointing here to the upside. Again, you only need to be a little bit careful around $4,600 if we don't get a strong rejection from there. Moon is happening soon, really soon. So Solana, I gave you here again the picture perfect entry. You could have caught that yesterday here. So if you didn't, it would be not technically too late to enter right now. Yeah, it would be not technically too late for that, because the RSI is going into the upside. The MACD is about to print a buy signal if the current 4-hourly candle stays as it is. And also the stochastic is about to print a buy signal. So also here, bullish momentum to the upside, but be again cautious around the $231 level and all the way up here to $237, because here there are now some big sell clusters, $523 million worth of Solana, and just above that, 1.6 billion here at, all the way up to $248. These levels will be taken out, don't get me wrong, you know, so, but not potentially on the first attempt, unless we get crazy volume, which I doubt right now with everything that's happening on BNB, you know, so all the volume is going to BNB right now, and is draining Solana's ecosystem. So yeah, unless we are getting here a volume supported big break to the upside, might be difficult. So now let's talk about some altcoins. One altcoin that is running like crazy for weeks now is Mantle, MNT. So I believe that this might be here the short-term top, $2.88. We ran up here 4x since I gave that trade here in July. You know, so in 3 months we ran up 4x on this coin, which is crazy. So because I remember that I told you guys, when we break this downward sloping trend line, you can enter this. I don't know how many of you were able to do that, but if you did, you did pretty well for yourself, for sure, if you were holding this all the way up here. So, but now, what are levels that I see Mantle pulling back to? So first of all, on the daily chart, it looks cooked, you know, so RSI wants to go down, stochastic wants to go down, MACD will turn around here with today's daily candle close, and yeah, we're putting in here potentially evening star pattern, so on the candlesticks. So now, the Fibonacci retracement levels are always a really good indication where we can pull back to. So the first level that I would be looking at would be here $2.35 at the 0.382, and then the 0.5 level, $2.17. So these are the imminent levels that I would be looking at, because also we have here a small imbalance in that candle at $2.14. So and this is right now here a big support zone, because we pumped above that, retested it, then went into 2 all-time highs here consecutively. So here $2.28 all the way down to $2.14. This might be right now a really strong support zone. So if it breaks that, then we go to the golden ratio to around $2. But I believe that now in the short term, this is definitely cooling down a little bit. But you can then take a trade from here and trade this, yeah, potentially in $3 or even $4 to the upside. Aptos is a little bit below the entry that I had given. So what I would do here is wait for this current 4-hourly candle to pull back above $5. So once it is above $5, open the trade and set your stop loss here at $4.76, because the RSI is already oversold, or about to be oversold. Yeah, about to be oversold with the next 4-hourly candle close. Stochastic wants to print a buy signal. MACD is bearish. So, but this will change once the RSI starts to be oversold, because we're never staying long oversold. So we are on a 4-hourly chart, maybe another 8-12 hours. So another 2 candles basically after the current candle, and then we turn around. So now ASTER is already pumping back to the upside, but was not doing well today. So, and I did not expect that we would go. Did we go below that? I want to see that now. I think we did go below that. Oh, no, we did not, but we got close. So here, that low was not broken, which is good. So that means here, this higher low that we put in is a bullish sign here, as long as we are closing above, what is that, $1.80. So we need to stay above $1.80. Better would be even $1.85 to get here continuation back to the upside in direction of $2. Luckily, the indicators are all favoring upside right now. So the RSI is just getting started. Here was a bullish divergence that is right now playing out. The MACD is about to print a buy signal, stochastic flying to the upside. So here things are looking not too shabby, not too shabby. So then I wanted to talk about, let's see, can I, yeah, here, let's see. Had for you guys prepared BNB. BNB looks also really toppy here. Just look at this. So you get here right now, deferred candle to the downside. So this is a reversal pattern or a topping pattern, whatever you want to call that, you know. So that reversing pattern back to the downside, golden ratio, most likely golden ratio, or here 1,130 to 100, yeah, to 1,200 in that range here. So let me actually draw here quick a box. So because here's an order block. So if that's not holding, that block is not holding, golden ratio, that's where price will go down to. Because here stochastic about to print a sell signal, MACD losing momentum, RSI pointing down. So I think BNB also needs now a cool down phase, because we were basically going up in a straight line for almost, yeah, a little bit more than 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, no, 2 weeks. 2 weeks straight line more or less to the upside. So we need to cool down here a little bit before we continue that yeah, upwards trajectory. So if you want entry here on BNB, start laddering in at $1,200 all the way down to like $1,000. So spread your limit orders accordingly, and then you're definitely going to catch that when it turns around and goes back to the upside. So what else did I had my eyes on today? Lido. Yeah, I remember. So I had my eyes on Lido. So why Lido? Because Ethereum is not done yet with going here into the banana zone. So, and Lido is so intertwined into the Ethereum ecosystem that Lido will pump with Ethereum to the upside. So here I'm watching this downward sloping trend line right now. That is sitting currently at $1.25 more or less. But you see here, here's also a big resistance area all the way up to $1.31. So if you want to play it safe, you wait for $1.31, but then you miss out on over 10% upside. But yeah, the riskier option would be $1.25. So I would be personally taking here $1.25, because you could get here a move like this, here like an 84% move to the upside in a matter of a week, you know. So and you don't want to miss that when here this downward sloping trend line gets broken and you get here one daily candle like this, you know, and then you're, oh shit, I missed the move. So that's why I rather take that chance when we are breaking the downward sloping trend line and see what price will do then. So then the next one that I had Lido. Did I go back to link? No. So let's see. Guys, let me know in the chat 1 or 2 coins quick, and then I'm gonna run here. Because remember, I said I'm gonna go early today. Because I have something to do. ENA. Oh, ENA was also doing well, actually. I remember that. So, okay, I do ENA, and then I'm gonna run. ENA on Bybit. Oh, I actually still had here some lines. I thought I would have nothing here. This is great. Okay, I don't know. Okay. Okay. Huh. So on a daily chart, I would say no trade zone. On a weekly chart, I would say no trade zone. Same thing. So on a 4-hourly chart, RSI, same thing. So right now where INA is, I would not open a trade from there. So you have here multiple options. So first of all, you have here a big falling wedge, and it is converging with the basically 60-cent level. You want to see a break of 60 cents to open a position here, and then I would target here these wicks at 83 cents. So this is almost a 40% move to the upside here with a stop loss at the bottom of that falling wedge here. So it's like a almost 11% stop loss, but the risk to reward ratio is amazing, you know, so it's absolutely fine. This is the trade that I would take here on INA. But on daily, it looks like that we are coming here a little bit more down. So unless we are breaking 60 cents, expect a little bit more downside. If you get lucky, we get down all the way down to here 44 or 45 cents, and you take the same trade just from here. And then you are looking at 85.5% to the upside with a stop loss at, yeah, here at 35.5 cents. So either way, you know, whatever comes first is what you're gonna trade. So in here, to enter this, wait for 1 hourly close above 60 cents before you enter this, because it could also just scam you, you know, just wicks above that with a 15-minute candle comes back. Now you're in, now you're stuck. So you don't want that to be happening. So guys, I'm here now 31 minutes. I have to run. Like I said, I have other things to do, but thank you so much for tuning in. There will be a new trading competition, most likely from Monday, with a new exchange. I just sealed the deal today, so watch out for that. And don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then with more money, potentially tomorrow.